Alright, in this video we're going to talk about your options for installing MySQL. So the system requirements for MySQL are really light. So ideally you're going to want to install MySQL on your local computer. If you have a modern hardware, it should easily support it. Modern, I probably mean anything from the last 10 years is going to handle it. Operating requirements of MySQL are very modest. They recommend a minimum of 256 meg of free memory. And to be honest, if you're surfing Facebook in your favorite browser, that's probably going to use more memory than MySQL is going to. And that is a minimum amount of memory. And it's just going to be us on the system. So that's for a single user doing development. You're going to be just fine as far as your hardware requirements. Obviously, I've talked about servers and scaling it up. If you have dozens or hundreds or thousands of connections into the database, you're obviously going to need much more memory. And that's something that we can tune, and we will look at that in a much future lessons when we start getting into administration type stuff. Now, let's talk about installing MySQL natively, so native installation. That means that MySQL is installed on your operating system. MySQL supports native installations for all major operating systems. Ahead in the course, I'm going to look at installing MySQL on Windows 10, OS X, and Linux. Each of these are going to have two sections. So I created a quick start because I get a lot of different skill levels coming through this course. It's just text instructions of how to install MySQL. It's just the facts, so you can get in there, install it, and move on. Then I'm also going to do a video lecture where I'll go through the installation step by step. So depending on what you need, go ahead and do that. And this is kind of an odd section of the course because go ahead and, obviously if you're running Windows, don't go watch the Linux videos. Let's go ahead and skip to the next section of the course. The whole purpose of this section of the course is just to get you up and running on MySQL. And then another option that we can look at is running MySQL inside of a container. So this is a technology that's been around for some time, but Docker has been on fire the last few years. Docker is a container technology, very popular. Google runs billions of containers probably. I personally use Docker containers for my development, so this is my personal choice. I even have a course about using Docker for Java developers, very popular course. I'm not going to be able to get too deep into Docker here. If that's something that you want, please check that out. I do a deep dive on Docker technology in that course. But Docker is pretty easy to use. Effectively, you're going to use pre-built image from Docker Hub. Through a Docker command, you'll be able to pull down that image and run it locally. It will behave exactly like it. It just happens to be in a container. It's nice and self-contained. That's why I personally choose it. MySQL is not going to be installed on my local operating system. It's in a container. So it's just a nice way to do development. And depending on your skill level, you might want to skip this. That's absolutely fine. That's just my choice. But if you're a little more comfortable, give Docker a try. I highly recommend it.